Vitalize connecting people, and welcome to my Network Insights. This gives me the opportunity to share with you, the online audience, a few things about networking. And especially today, I'm going to be sharing with you the how to conduct and plan a successful one-to-one meeting with one of your business connections. I've created 5 key areas to share with you all today and really guide you through them to hopefully inspire you to put some more thought and planning, strategic planning, to make sure that you are conducting these one to ones more effectively and with purpose. Because I think the most important thing, not think, but the most important thing in regards to networking, setting up your marketing strategy, is to make sure you're conducting the right one to one meetings and identifying the right people of who you want to meet. So first of all, I'm going to guide you through just these 5 key areas for you, and you'll see them on the screen in the next few seconds. But the first part I want to discuss with you all today, or first part of the how-to, is are you setting up your planning and goals? The question is, how many one-to-ones would you like to conduct over the next month, the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next year? But let's look at the next month and the next week. Do you allocate the right amount of time in your weekly schedule and your monthly schedule to conduct these one-to-one meetings? And also, are you doing these online and in person? Because you can get the mix between both key areas of online and in person. And especially now that we're living in a virtual world, it's quite easy to use many scheduling programs to set up your online meetings and also make it even easier for your connections to engage with you and book in a one-to-one meeting by just sharing a link and it's ready to go. Now, for example, you might put, say, 3 meetings in place for the week ahead. They could be on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You might allocate maybe half an hour to an hour to them. And that's just an idea and hopefully a suggestion that you might put into place. The question is, what do you want to achieve from these goals? And that's something for you to think about. What do you want to achieve from having these meetings in place over the next week, over the next month? Well in advance for yourself. Also, who do you want to conduct these meetings with? What networks are you part of? And out of those networks, who do you want to meet? Actually, who have you met in the last 6 months? Who do you need to re-meet again and lock them in, schedule them in into another meeting with you over the next few months and next weeks? Because the many conversations that we're having with one another, especially in some of the groups that you're part of, you're building up those great business relationships up with them. You're really educating, learning from each other regularly and consistently. And I don't mind saying this, the key part of networking is all about educating. It's all about learning from each other because you're trying to make sure that they can introduce you or identify an opportunity and introduce you with confidence as well. Now, the second part of it is the time scale. Really be disciplined in setting up the stall. So if you've planned, you've set out your goals, how much time are you allocating to each individual one-to-one meeting, either in person or online? For example, it might be 30 minutes, it could be 45 minutes, it could be an hour. Now, that's online is quite easy to conduct because you're not traveling anywhere. But take in consideration your traveling time, making sure you're there before the meeting, make sure you got all your notes ready, you've done your prep before meeting your connection, before that meeting itself, and make sure the time scale is in place because you don't want to drift over. If you do feel that the meeting or the one-to-one is going to go over the 45 minutes, book in another meeting. Could be online, it could be in person, it could be at an event or a networking meeting that you're going to as well. Meet them beforehand or even afterwards for a cup of coffee and a catch up, etc. That's really the time scale. Now, the agenda is the third part. Are you setting up an agenda of areas and topics that the both parties that want to discuss? And are you sharing that agenda with a calendar invite, a scheduling tool with that connection to make sure you're covering the points that they want to cover and you want to cover? Setting out a clear agenda of what you want to achieve from that meeting is extremely important because when you're going into it, you might want to identify some key discussion points that you want to find out about their business, some key discussion points that you want to find out about each other to identify a strategic partnership, a strategic opportunity for you, or people that you want to introduce to one another before you get there as part of the agenda. Now, the objective from the meeting is important as well. Why do you want to meet them for? And what do you want to achieve from that meeting? Being pure, clear, clarity with each other of what the objectives are at the end of the meeting. So you set up the agenda, the discussion points, and the fourth area is setting out the objective of why the meeting is being taken place. It might be that you want to find out more about what's been happening with their business. You want to find out more about what's happening in their role or in their company that they're part of, or the sales team that they're working with. The objective might be to discover that opportunity for new business, or even discussion about an introduction that's been given to you, about somebody or a business that's been passed to you that you want to find out. That could be the objective, but be clear on the objective that you really want to achieve from it. The fifth part is the preparation. It brings you full circle because the preparation is twofold. First part of the preparation is making sure you got your right notes written down from the meeting to action, and I do stress the word action, your follow-up from the meeting. Because if you've promised some introductions, if you promised to put something in the calendar, if you promised to make sure that you've got a secondary meeting or a third meeting or fourth meeting, you're actioning those points and putting them into place. And the key word I mentioned there before is following up. Follow up from every meeting that you're having. Make sure you promise you deliver what you said you were going to do. It could be a LinkedIn introduction. It could be an email intro. It could be a phone call to speak to somebody on their behalf, or they are speaking to somebody on your behalf as well. But also making sure once you've completed your week and the meetings that you've done, those one-to-ones, are you setting up the stall ready for the next round of meetings? You're back to the planning and preparation once again. Now, these are just 5 key areas of my one-to-one RBC meetings best practice. I share these with many of my RBC members in the discovery workshops and also in my one-to-ones that I conduct, not just on my RBC network, but also with the connections that I'm making regularly and consistently during the week. And you can conduct these best practices even if you're doing some activities. For example, I do play a lot of golf, but again, having that meeting on the golf course and you're meeting somebody for 3 to 4 hours, enjoying a round of golf, you can go round these areas to make sure you've got the right pointers, the right discussion topics, the right points to talk about, and make sure you're getting the most out of your one-to-one meetings. Now, if you'd like to find out more and for me to help you even further, I have now launched the new Networking Mastery Sessions. It is 1 hour with me to really delve deep into 4 key areas, the cornerstones of networking with myself. Number 1, looking at your target audience, which is part of the area that you want to find out. Who is your target audience? Number 2, delving into and looking at the learning, the actual delivery of your message. Is it on point and has it got a purpose? So we're looking at your message and how you deliver that with your online or even in-person audience. Number 3, the support network, the groups and networks that you're part of, really identifying and crunching down on the numbers to make sure you're using and fulfilling everything you want from the networking groups and the organizations that you're part of right now. And number 4, really importantly, the engagement level. It's how you're setting up your stall. Have you got an action plan? Have you got a marketing strategy for your networking? And after this 1 hour networking mastery call, we'll give you a network plan to hit the ground running for the next month ahead. Some action points, some exercises to really delve in and implement into your strategy for networking. And you get a bonus 30 minutes with me after the session, 30 minutes later, 1 month later, to really hold you accountable, look to what you've implemented, what's worked well, what's been the challenges. Let's celebrate the successes and the achievements that you've gained from hitting that ground running as a networking professional as well. If you want to find out more about that, please go to the Revitalize website, revitalize-connect.com, or you can come through to me, send me a message, put it in the feed, and I'll respond to it ASAP and we'll get you booked into one of the networking mastery sessions. Thanks again for watching and for listening to my networking insights. Please feel free to reach out, make a comment, and as always, make sure that we can actually help you as much as we can with the networking insights. There is many more networking insights coming very soon, so watch this space. And if you're watching this for the first time, click the bell, subscribe to the channel, and you're going to get a smorgasbord of wonderful interviews and more networking insights. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.